This video is going to be a film study look at Jayden Reed and some of the more impactful plays he's made for the Green Bay Packers in 2023. I picked two rookie wide receivers that I was really interested in the draft process last year to focus on kind of before the Monday Night Football game in Week 14. And Reed's a guy who has shown tremendous ability in college, first at Western Michigan and then Michigan State. Finished his career with like 210 catches, 208 catches, something like that, 26 touchdowns. Got taken in the second round of the draft. He's been a real asset for Green Bay and Jordan Love so far, if you ask me, particularly on deep balls from the slot position. Also on a number of third downs, some of the film that I have, and I'm only going to show you 10 plays. I think he's really good at adapting to the coverage. Him and Jordan Love seem to be on the same page about where he's going to take his routes when they see a particular coverage and maybe the first move or the first route to be run by him and other complementary receivers doesn't come open. Him and Jordan Love adapt twice to a Tampa 2 that I'll show you during this video. I think it's something they practiced and been taught, coached probably to do, and they do it brilliantly. His yards per target in recent weeks are down in terms of the last 3 games. 12 catches for only 96 yards. He does have 2 touchdowns in that span. They had a touchdown against the Lions in a Thanksgiving Day win, and they had a rushing touchdown against the Chargers 4 days earlier in Week 11 when the Packers started their current 3-game win streak. They beat the Chiefs last week in Week 13 before this Monday Night Football game against the Giants, where the Packers have a chance to get to 7-6 and move above 500 for the first time since Week 3. His most dynamic performance was probably his 5-catch, 84-yard effort against the Steelers, which is where we'll start the film study portion here. So lost to the Steelers, don't get me wrong, but Reed was a guy who was able to have an impact across the 4 quarters. First of all, it's a beautiful touchdown on a climb concept. He's going to come from the other side of the field, the top side of the screen. Jordan Love throws the football, badly beat the DB trying to cover him, number 1. It's a 3rd and 16, and he runs just right past the boundary side safety. So this is Reed originating from the top side. I call it a climbs concept. And just this safety here is just burning eyes too much on Jordan Love. For me, Reed also has leverage on the DB to his side. I think it's Wallace, Jordan Love, able to get the ball over the safety for a 35-yard touchdown. Packers chip the outside linebackers on this play, Watt and Highsmith. Watt to the left and Highsmith to the right on this screen, giving Love a clean throwing platform. And then Reed goes up and gets it for his 4th receiving touchdown of the season at that point. Brilliant stuff. The same type of play that he made in college, and some people said he wouldn't be able to do in the pros because of his size. This is one of the 2 adaptations out of Tampa 2 that I'll show you. 1st and 10, empty formation. Christian Watson is open here from the top side of the screen, don't get me wrong. But it's Reed that gets the target. So Watson is breaking from the top side over the middle. It's a Tampa 2 where number 20 is a DB. I'm not sure who he is, to be honest with you. But you can see the element of the half-field nature safety here. Half-field safety here. Reed is trying to get over the top of the linebacker level between the hashes, and then he adapts to the throw, which Jordan Love makes under considerable duress here. You'll get the end zone angle, so you'll see what I mean. Basically throws it into the open space, and Reed is able to run onto it for a 46-yard gain. I think it's a brilliant job of adapting to the situation, and when I show you the second one later on, against the same coverage, different team, different defense, hopefully you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. If I don't do a good job explaining it, that's my fault. This is Reed. Excuse me for that. This is Reed, top right-hand portion of the screen. You can see Love is looking to the middle of the field, probably to Watson. He certainly gets the ball in here, but for whatever reason, he doesn't think he's able to squeeze that ball in there. It's Tampa 2, so the number 20, whose feet you see at the top middle of the screen, he's not going to be able to make a play on that ball at all. Under duress, Jordan Love chunks this thing downfield, so he knew the coverage. He knew the area of the field that would be soft in terms of it would be available for Reed to run onto. I think it's a brilliant job. Like I said, they lost that football game in Week 11 nonetheless. Forgive me for that. That was actually week 10. All right. Vikings is a seam route week 8, 2 weeks earlier. It's a third quarter play from their own 37. And the tight end from the other side of the field and Reed are both running seam routes. There's no contact with Reed here at all by the outside linebacker or whatever position you want to call him, an inside linebacker. Up to the top side, Harrison Smith jams or pushes inside the tight end to that side. You got two verticals basically trying to threaten the free safety. Free safety in the cover 3. Can't cover both of those verticals. Occupying the corners with two out routes to the sideline, down here and up to the top. Theoretically, the two verticals threatens the free safety in a way that Love can pick either one of them to throw the football to. Once this safety's back is to Reed's side and he's pushing to the middle of the field between the hatches, Love knows where he's going to go with the football, puts the right pace or zip on it such that Reed is able to catch it in the open space and then try to turn upfield before the safety can get there. Same game, fourth quarter against the Vikings, another 30-plus yard catch. This is one that I think is a great job by Love, first of all, of extending the play versus a four-man rush. Reed's in the slot down at the bottom side of the screen. It's very similar to the one that I described you earlier against the Steelers. It's Tampa 2. Now, there's a little bit of a problem with me calling it Tampa 2 is that this guy right here is playing man. Everybody else at the second level is oriented towards a Tampa 2. Watch that middle linebacker there in the middle of the screen when Reed brings his route vertical right to left on the screen for you guys. You can see the Tampa 2 nature of it. Everyone else except that DB who is now beat badly by Reed is playing a Tampa 2. You got a cover 2 corner, hook defender, deep middle, basically half defenders like I drew up for the Steelers earlier. Love's able to extend the play, big arm from the other side of the field, finds Reed. Same area of the field, I would say. Again, it's a great job by number 44 carrying that vertical because Reed had won his route off the bat. The timing of this play is different than the first one I showed you, but I think it illustrates that these guys are very well trained because against the same coverage in different games separated by 2 weeks, I believe, Love and Reed are able to get the ball in the same area of the field. Hopefully I said that in a way that makes sense. A bubble against the Vikings. Reed down here on the bottom side. Vikings are showing this like mug look. This is middle fourth quarter, something like that. Good hands, very smart after the catch in his routes to find space. Able to get 10 yards up the left sideline quite easy. He's in the right place, I think, with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, young wide receivers, big bodies, guys who can run routes on the outside. Jordan Reed, to me, looks like a perfect slot receiver, a guy who can mix and match and move around. Forgive me, I said Jordan Reed. I meant Jayden Reed. All right. Compressed formation, week 2 against the Falcons. Somewhat easy touchdown for Jayden Reed. Interesting use of 11 personnel by the Packers. You got a 6th offensive lineman in here as your only tight end. So jumbo 11, I guess some would say. But in any case, eligible tight end. Reed down here at the bottom side. Going to get just enough of a piece, sell this block enough on the DB such that he can slip out into the flats. You got a vertical by 83 that carries A.J. Terrell into the end zone, so that space is all cleared up. Easy one for his second NFL touchdown. I'll show you the first one here in a moment. If you ask me, I'll show you the end zone angle real quick. Nice design by the Packers 7-man protection scheme where 6 of the blockers are offensive linemen, and then the 7th is the running back, A.J. Dillon here. Give Love time. Simple, easy concept. Attacking the field, getting A.J. Terrell out of there with the clear out route. Reed blocking initially, slips out into the flats, wide open for a touchdown. First touchdown of his career, was earlier in the game. Fast sweep to the field. He's down here stacked at the bottom side with Romeo Doubs. Really nice job by 83 at the top side of the screen. Check him out as he engages Terrell, first of all. But while he's doing so, he's got eyes on the safety. So as soon as that safety, which in this case is Jesse Bates, tries to fill the alley, 83 is basically going to release off of him, go pick up Jesse Bates. Why? because the running back, 27, is going out to get the corner. Just really nice job by 83 out in space. One of those things that most people that break down the game, myself included, would neglect to mention at times. Running back leading out in space looks simplistic. Oh, go get someone. No, this is all coordinated. Block the corner for a moment, eyes on the safety. If the safety doesn't show, stay on the corner. In this case, safety shows to the inside. 83 releases him. 27 pulls up on him. To me, it's a great illustration of it's not just about Jayden Reed and other guys making plays. You got to have the right play call, and you got to have players who can read it on the run. With those three guys, those three young wide receivers, the Packers got a bright future. Watson and Dobbs is in their second year. Reed brings that smaller, quicker element, but also a versatile playmaker, if you ask me. He looks like, I said this earlier, he looks like the exact same player that I saw on film at Michigan State. I think the Packers have definitely become more efficient as the season's progressed. I think they're averaging 26 points and 385 yards per game in their 3-game winning streak. This game tonight against the Giants on Monday Night Football, an opportunity for them to get to 7-6, number one. Number two, to show that they're further along in the developmental process than perhaps a lot of us realize. Obviously, 6 weeks ago, they're sitting at 2-5 after a home loss to the Vikings. They haven't turned the football over in the last 3 games, coinciding with their surge to get to 6-6. Reed, Watson, and Dobbs have been a big part of that, kind of alternating or handing off the load in terms of pass catches and production to give Jordan Love multiple options to utilize. I think against the Giants and the defense that Wink Martindale runs, Jayden Reed is the type of slot receiver that has given his defensive trouble in the past. I can say that because I'm a Ravens fan, a Ravens content creator, and I've watched it happen numerous times. Not to say that Dobbs and Watson won't give the Giants issue if they're completely healthy, because Watson's burst speed and size and catch radius to me is a very unique thing even in the NFL. And I wish he got more opportunities, to be honest with you. Nonetheless, let me know what you think of my film study look at Jayden Reed leading into the Packers Monday Night Football game against the Giants. If you think other Green Bay fans would appreciate this video, this film study look at Jayden Reed and the really solid rookie season he's having so far, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.